Suraj Kolarkar.
Yes.
Yeah, can you pronounce it? Kolarkar?
Yeah, Kolarkar.
Oh, Kolarkar.
Yeah.
I knew I was missing a one vowel probably.
No, it's good. I tell white people to say collar car.
Color car.
Yeah, I literally
That's
point
the
to my
white-
collar and the car. And one MC once introduced me as Collar Drive because they just remembered the
That's hilarious.
actions.
Yeah.
What can you do, you know?
When are we going to get to the point where they start putting respect on our ethnic
Right?
names?
I think it's not until we start messing up their names.
Yeah, like
You know?
Philip is Philipe.
Yeah. Once we start doing that.
How do you pronounce your name, dude? Philipe?
Yeah. Steve. Okay.
Stevie?
All right.
Stevie?
I knew I was close. You got to give me credit for being close.
Hey, sorry, man. I'm just gonna call you Stevie from now on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stevie. Right? But yeah, it's interesting. One thing I remember you told me is that because you were born in India and you were born and raised in India.
Yes.
But when you speak to your family
Yes.
in English,
Yeah.
your dad will not understand you if you speak regular English like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you put on your accent for your dad in English.
Code switching.
Code switching in English. And that's the only way your dad will understand what you're saying in English.
That's right. Yeah. Well, here's the crazy thing. For a podcast I did where I interviewed my dad, the producer of the pod, the co-producer of the pod, didn't know that I was going. So he thought I was doing a bit where I was like deliberately talking with a fake accent is what he thought. And he's like, I can't believe he's doing this, right? But yeah, when I talk to my dad, grandparents, I've got the accent. That's why when like, say a white friend comes over to the house, then I'm caught between worlds. I'm like, I don't know which voice to use, so I got to kind of thread the needle between the two. Otherwise, neither understands, you know? I've had when I took my wife to India.
And your wife she's white American.
She's a white lady.
Yeah.
She's half English, half Australian, born in America. She ticks all the white boxes.
Literally all of them.
That's it. And she's a smart lady, right? She studied law, politics, all this kind of stuff. Then I went over, I was meeting family there, and my aunt, she's like this physics professor that's like a university genius.
Damn, auntie
yeah.
putting in work.
That's right. And both super smart women. They're trying to talk to each other. Both are fluent in English. They cannot communicate unless I stand there and translate English to English.
That's fucking insane.
So I gotta receive Indian accented English from my aunt, turn around to my white partner, and then repeat the same words, and then take her Australian accent English, turn around, re-repeat it, and I'm relaying, you know?
That's insane. I've never heard that in my entire life.
I'm a conduit between two people smarter than me that both know the same language really well, and they can't communicate.
That's actually insane.
It's fun.
Have you ever heard about that? You've never heard that. Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I've had to do it like between my mom, a waiter, somebody else at the table. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The waiters at the
Moderate?
table?
Well, yeah. Yeah, the waiters are sitting with us.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, you guys look fucking cool, man.
It's like when you sit in the front of the Uber and you get close.
Yeah, you're like a little special.
Yeah. He's like, have the entrees with us, dude.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's kind of true, and I've done that too, but I think that's a little bit different because my mom is not fully fluent in English. So it's a little different.
What does she speak?
Farsi, like we speak Farsi,
Right.
Persian language, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like she knows some English.
Yeah.
She can get around, like she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it takes some time for her to really like understand what someone's saying. They have to kind of speak a little slower, right?
Right.
Like, then maybe she'll get it. But you're saying your auntie speaks fluent English,
Yeah.
but like in India,
Yeah. But just with an accent.
just with an accent. That's right.
I'll take exactly the same vocabulary, grammar, everything that she just said.
Right.
Just change the accent.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you translate like UK English to US English on like Google Voice?
It's the exact same thing.
I'm doing that.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
So you're literally like a random sentence that your wife just tells you. In English.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
she'll
don't
be like, I have no idea what that was. And
Yeah.
I'll turn around and say the same sentence, like, now I get
know.
it.
So literally, you'll be like, your wife will be like, so yeah, I went to the beach and just hung out and had a little picnic, and then she wouldn't get it, but then you would be like, so she went to beach and
No,
had
I'll say to
picnic,
the beach. It'll still the grammar, the retention of the grammar will still be there.
but like in like literally
In the accent. Yeah.
Like I went to the beach and I had tan and like oh yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, like that's
it.
insane to me to think about.
Yeah, it's what's wild is the reason for that also. Like the same thing happens when my dad first immigrated to Australia and he would try to communicate with locals. If you've heard a word said one way your whole life, then if it's said a little differently, you very quickly give up on trying to decipher the word. Like he went to order ice cream when he first landed in Australia, and he called it vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Oh, vanilla.
Yeah. See, took him a moment, right?
I was like, wait, is that a brand?
Yeah, exactly. So when he went to the guy at the ice cream shop, he's like, we don't sell that. And it's like, you don't sell vanilla? Well, he's the guy, like, dude, you guys should check it out. That is a popular flavor.
Yeah.
Like, so many places carry it.
You really should try.
It's like the first thing people carry. And he like looking around. He's like, you have it right here. He's like, oh, vanilla. It's like just that. Just changing the emphasis of how you say one syllable will throw your brain off enough that it doesn't even recognize the word anymore.
Does that happen to you ever?
Well, it's interesting for me because I came over at 11, which is a formative time, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I had first learned, because all the previous generations in India, they have learned the pronunciations from other Indian people teaching English. So the mispronounced words are carried through. Like you can learn grammar and syntax and everything through textbooks, but the way a word is pronounced, which syllable has emphasis, is almost arbitrary, right? Like when you look at a word, you don't know if it's, composition or composition. Like you don't know that unless you speak it natively and you've just heard it that way. But if you've just heard something said a little differently and that's just carried through, then that's just how you know it. So what happens is my dad will know all the words, but just with slightly off pronunciations of all of them. So when I came over from 11 onwards I knew all the words, but then it's like learning the intricacies of the language itself.
And your dad is in India right now?
No, he's here.
Oh, they're here. Okay.
Yeah.
And like recently, have you experienced anything like that where there has been a miscommunication in public or something?
Like all the time. All the time. Like every second word my dad says, and he's one of the smartest dudes I know, right? We came over for his PhD.
Oh, wow.
He's a smart guy. But every second word he says, I got to be like, that's not how you say that word. You say it like this. And he's like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And it's just because if you don't know how to say something, it's not enough emphasis isn't placed on learning how to pronounce things. Because people will sit and study grammar really, but that doesn't matter. Like communication-wise, if I mess up grammar, I think we're past the 2-minute mark, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So feel free to drop that N-word anytime. If I mess up in grammar, you still understand the content of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if I'm saying the words a little different, and all the words are a little different, then the communication really breaks down.
Yeah, I know.
Like my great uncle, so my grandfather's brother, he teaches Shakespeare at university in India.
Wow.
And he went to America, and this lady at a shop was like, do you speak English? I can't understand you.
What?
And he's like, I teach English at the highest level, right? But that's what the pronunciation difference is.
What?
She was trying to understand his accent. She couldn't.
How thick was his accent?
Pretty thick.
Like,
that's the thing.
No,
right?
but I actually can't even think about it.
Yeah, well, if vanilla and vanilla can just completely disappear.
Are you close with him?
Yeah.
Like,
I would back in the day before comedy, when I had aspirations of being like a writer, I'd write like chapters of a novel and I'd send them to him to like read and
revise,
provide, and give feedback. And so he knows his stuff, but he's at like a store in America. And this lady's like, this guy can't fucking speak the language.
Like, lady, you can't speak the language.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, can you is there like can you even like reenact maybe something that he would say that she would understand? I'm actually just trying to think of that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like what would he have said that she wouldn't get?
Yeah, like if you take any sample of words, right? If you say, it wouldn't be automobile, right? It would be automobile.
And that's what
how
you're
it's spelled.
Yeah,
right?
that's how you're saying how your father-in-law. would say.
Yeah. And just every word like that. We pick 5 words, and I can tell you, like, it's not rhinoceros.
Oh,
it's rhinoceros.
Yeah.
It's not cucumber. It's cucumber. Yeah, because cucum. Why cucu? But the first U is pronounced very differently to the second U. Why? Because fuck immigrants. That's why.
True.
Right?
Literally. Fuck them.
Cucumber.
True.
Both those. Yeah. Just anything like that. Right?
Yeah. I've seen videos recently on TikTok of like Americans going up to like international students on campus.
Yeah.
And they ask them like, what's the hardest word in English for you to pronounce?
Yeah.
And it's always funny. It's interesting what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It's like the simple words that you don't even think about that would be hard is so hard for some people, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And, like this Indian guy, he was like, I think you said a simile or something like that, and he couldn't pronounce it. He's like, subliminal. It was like subliminal. Like he was like struggling.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh yeah, like even like regular words you think could be easy to you is so hard for someone else. In English.
Yeah. And particularly with like, they might nail each individual vowel for what it looks like, but a short vowel compared to a long vowel that's only there because you understand, like, it's pronounced asparagus, not asparagus.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do you know that?
Right.
It's like, because someone taught it to me. That's
or like sourdough.
Yeah.
It's like OUGH. What the hell is that?
Yeah. I didn't, for the first 11 years of my life, I'd pronounce it Ari.
Ari?
Yeah.
What's
Can
Ari?
you try to guess what word I'm trying to say?
Ari.
Yeah.
Ari. Oh no. Ari?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Awry. Look how it's spelled.
Oh.
AWRY.
Oh, awry. Yeah. I was
Things
like,
have gone awry.
What the fuck is
right?
that word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I look at the... Oh,
sorry.
we're still here, folks.
My bad. I fucked up your angle, dude. Sorry.
Nah, I think I'm still in the shot.
Maybe. Maybe half.
Now we've got the 1/3 thing happening. We're getting cinematic with it. Right?
Yeah, I know, right? We're making angles.
Rule of thirds. Yeah.
We're creating angles as we
That's
speak.
right.
Is it still rolling? Oh,
Tarantino would be proud.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at the word awry, AWRY, if I look at that, and if I know the word AWFUL is awful, then I'm gonna start awry just like that, right? AW.
Yeah, right.
Aw. But
Yeah.
that's not. It's awry.
Right.
Why? Because fuck you. That's why.
'Cause fuck you. Yeah, you immigrant. Sit down and learn our language, not the other way around.
Yeah. And not just the language. Learn every single word.
Intonation.
Because there's no logic behind how things. Oh, you know that famous like how church is pronounced or it's spelled TODOT. Do you know Vsauce?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What the hell is this?
He's like, has he reverted back to his?
How immigrant am I, dude? You know what's funny, actually? Before you say that,
Yeah.
Before I forget, sidetrack.
Yeah.
You mentioned church. I know a lot of Africans too. They within Africa.
Yeah.
In different regions of Western Africa specifically.
Yeah.
They all pronounce church differently as well.
Right.
So it's like Kenyans, Nigerians, and Ghanaians.
Yeah.
And like Senegalese or a few different ones. Like they'll pronounce it differently. Like one of them will pronounce it choch.
Right.
Choch. The other one will pronounce it chech. And then another one will pronounce it chech. Like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Choch, chech, chich.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
even within those cultures, they pronounce those words differently. So it's like Yeah, it's just interesting to observe that. But
Yeah. Oh,
what were you saying about
so GHOTI.
GHOTI?
Yeah.
Goti?
Yeah, you know what that?
is- no,
you
what
know
is
what
that?
that is?
What is that?
That's fish
In what language?
in English. You know why?
Goti?
Yeah. Well, let's break it down. How is GH pronounced in enough?
F.
Yeah. All right. And then how is O pronounced in women? We, like an I, like an I. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And then how is TI pronounced in the word nation?
Sure.
Yeah. So goatee, GHOTI, is fish.
What the hell?
Yeah. It's like a linguistic humor thing that shows the. It's like
The idiocy of English language.
And it's like a thing that like linguists look at. The idea being that there are so many inconsistencies in the language that you got to really sit and study it and
That's wild.
linguistics is fun, man.
It is fun. It's interesting, man. And I was saying, like, even the Indian guy in the video, he was trying to say subliminal, but he was like subliminal.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't know it's subliminal.
Yeah.
It's subliminal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And we were talking about GH in my language, like my mom, like if she didn't know how to pronounce dough, DOUGH,
Yeah.
she would pronounce it dough.
Yeah.
Because we use GH, gu.
Exactly.
It's a big thing in our language, and it's an actual drink. It's a sour yogurt drink.
There you
Dough.
go.
So it's like that's what my mom would see it as.
Yeah. Even the word, like we were talking about earlier, women, WOMEN, woman, is how you'd think to say it just written down. But we don't say that. We say women, right? Women.
Woman. Well, but if it's singular though, you'd be whoa.
Yeah.
Woman.
Yeah. But
Woman.
plural, you don't say woman.
Yeah.
You say women.
What's another example of something like that?
Every word, man. That's the crazy thing. We say women like Yemen.
Yemen.
But we spell it completely different. Anyway, I think we can burn an hour just talking linguistics, but I don't know if that's what the people want.
No, they want that linguistic hour. Yeah. So the next hour we're going to talk about Yemen, actually.
Yeah.
No, man. That's so interesting. And when you first started doing comedy as well, do you think that? I mean, because you started obviously way after you came here.
Yes.
So, like, do you think that you ever had any issues on stage for like the regular like white people here or like the Aussies and like to understand you?
Usually not, because I moved over when I was 11 and I started stand up when I was 23.
Oh, okay.
So I'd spent more time in Australia than I had in India. So by the time I started stand up, I knew like the intonations and da-da-da. So, but, that outsider perspective of having moved at that time is like fertile ground for things to talk about on stage as well. So
I think it's great.
that was handy.
Yeah. Do you think you ever had pushback on like some of the material you're talking about on stage when you came here from the audience?
Pushback for like the kind of stuff I would do? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess like, because maybe because they didn't really understand what you're talking about from like an Indian background, right?
Yeah. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Because usually, I'm mostly entertaining white people here, right? Like the audiences are pretty much white people.
It's crazy. All over Australia too. It's literally mostly white people.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about because back in Canada, like you get a good mix.
Right.
And in America even, like it's different, all black rooms, all fucking Asian rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Indian comedians that are popular that come and do shows here, they have all Indian audiences.
Right.
But I have made sure that I have no popularity. So it's all strangers that come to my festival shows, right? And if it's all strangers, then it's 90% white people, right?
True.
And so I think what I find interesting is like when I open for like known Indian comedians that come here and then expat Indians come out to shows, then I'm in front of a 99% Indian audience that I'm not usually in front of. And so I get to kind of pull apart and see which parts of my gear works better for that because it's been honed against a white audience, right? So that's fun. That's interesting.
Like, you think your material was kind of almost forced to cater towards the white people eventually, because you're like, well, I can't fully be Indian here, or like I can't fully kind of speak from your Indian mind in a way, because maybe they might not understand.
I get what you're saying, but I think what it was because it's an outsider perspective and they can't relate to it. They're actually more interested.
You think so?
Yeah. Because if in front of an entirely Indian audience, if I talked about coming up in school in India, and if I was in India, it would be less interesting than to someone who has no idea what that world is about, right? If I'm like, man, we had 70 kids crammed into a classroom, and the roll call teacher doesn't even know your name. If I was doing that in India to an Indian audience, they'd be like, yeah, we know all this. Say something interesting to us.
That's about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is different to our experience, right?
For sure.
So I think a lot of comedy, I think, comes from like that outsider perspective, right?
Yeah.
So you see the same thing, but you see it differently, right? So having schooling there and here kind of was that mix of experiences that allowed me to talk about both things.
Interesting.
But I'm interested in how I would go if I did stand up in India. Like, have you done that? Have you
To stand up in India?
No, like in, say, Persia.
Oh, in Iran? No, I've never even been to my country.
Right,
It's
right.
too
Well,
dangerous right now.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little risky. Yeah.
Zoom in, I guess. Yeah.
No, there's no way. Yeah, like there's not even comedy there because
Right.
you can't. Like it's
they're
like illegal. Yeah.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I wish
you'd
I
have to
could.
have like secret shows, like J. Cole style.
Secret.
People find out the night of.
Underground.
They're like, oh, it's in a warehouse. And
underground, truly
Yeah,
underground
yeah.
in a bomb shelter.
It's like a
Underground,
fight
yeah.
club, but it's just people telling one-liners to each other.
Yeah, that's the Fight Club. Yeah, exactly. Literally. Yeah. It's like getting crack in a back alley.
Yeah.
That's because literally. Otherwise, like, yeah, because of the government, I don't want to get too much into it, but because of the government and stuff, it's just like they really crack down on things that is not for them. It's
Right.
It's not what they want.
Yeah. Especially like because in stand-up, a lot of times they might criticize the people in power or whatever.
Yeah.
That I think in China and things as well.
Oh, yeah,
Your whole script has
rules.
to be pre-approved.
Yep.
And you got to be like the Chinese Seinfeld, where you're like, roots are weird from vegetables.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
You can't be like,
How
how
about
about this asshole in power? Like, well, what'd you say?
It's like, hey, what about how about this wet market in Guangzhou compared to Shenzhen? Like,
And then you
it's
just
crazy, right?
red dots are turning up when you're like,
What'd you say about
we've
Shenzhen?
got a shot.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It's like-
Yeah, exactly. And Thailand is like that too. You can't talk shit about the king, or else you get murked.
right.
And gum, you can't chew gum,
Yeah.
or else you're fucked.
You know what's fun in Bangkok? They use this symbol from Hunger Games.
Oh, really?
They use it as a protest symbol,
Oh, really?
which is weird because it started in a fictional world,
Yeah,
but it's being used in
the
the
real
real world as a protest symbol.
because they can't do other types of protests.
No, like you shouldn't be doing this in public in Bangkok.
This means
Like you're gonna get in trouble because you're like showing anti-royal sentiments and blah,
so.
blah.
So you're saying if you do this in public in Thailand?
Yes,
you'll
not a
get
good
murked.
idea. Yeah, well, I was there for an acting gig, and a mate of mine also on that project. He saw a random guy do that thing to him, and he thought he was just doing a thing from the movie Hunger Games. So he did it back, and then others were like, "Stop doing that. You'll get in trouble. You'll cause political unrest."
Wow.
And,
Damn.
yeah.
Isn't it crazy how different it is in just certain regions of this world?
Bananas, dude.
It's insane. I wonder why they get to that point. It's like who didn't hug you?
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
you mean like how dictatorships happen?
Yeah, it's like, man,
Yeah.
you guys gotta chill, bro. Do some meditation. Take some Wim Hof breathing. Calm down. Calm your
Yeah.
nervous system down a little bit. You know?
Yeah, it's wild. But that all corrupting power, that must be quite the trip, right?
Ah, man. think it's just like the people who just didn't get love in high school and like middle school. They're just like, yeah, man, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
my time to
yeah.
shine. You know?
Yeah. But we say this now. If someone gave us a little nation, we might have like a
Yeah.
wardrobe full
Oh,
of
for
skulls,
sure.
Pol Pot style.
Definitely.
And you're like, you know what? I stand corrected.
I actually understand.
Being a dictator, super sick, actually. So many advantages.
I kind of get
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un. Like,
Yeah. I'm hanging with him. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
yeah, he's actually like not. So
Yeah. You like give him credit for like, you could have done worse, dude. You could have done worse things.
Yeah. Man, have you heard about that girl who escaped North Korea?
Oh, and she's doing like Rogan and
Yeah,
stuff?
she was on Rogan with the heavies. You know, Andrew Schultz was talking about the heavies.
yeah,
It's so
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And she had to eat rats and shit. Like, that's wild. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that the other day, but I was actually thinking about I had Joe Gada.
Yeah.
You know her?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she was on the pod two episodes before you, and I actually wanted to get your opinion because she's also Indian, but you've seen the videos of the Indian street food people in India,
Right, like the flaming pan and stuff.
Yeah, but like the ones where they're like literally sitting on the ground and using their feet to like cook the food and like they're dashing it out to people. Have you seen those ones?
No.
There's it's like gone so viral where like
Yeah.
all the everyone's always like reacting like crazy to it because it's like like Indian street food is just like some guy literally in the corner cooking up biryani and mutton or whatever
Right.
or
With his
dal,
feet.
with his feet and like
Right.
he's just like using his hands, he's like dipping his fucking hands in the thing and
Yeah.
like pouring into the bowl and shit.
That's what gives the flavor, man.
I know.
You're like, man, this is real authentic.
This is true
This is
Indian
Guy's
spices.
foot.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Raj's foot right now,
Yeah.
going into the
Unbelievable.
mutton curry. But I was gonna see like if you had any thoughts on that because I'm like, is that because I don't know if that's actually real or like they're just fucking with people.
I think some places will have like I don't know about the foot thing, but in terms of like really unhygienic street food, there's definitely a ton of that.
Yeah,
But then there'll be other places where it's much better. But in general, if your constitution isn't having grown up regularly eating Indian street food, then doing the like white tourist thing and going and getting street food is
You're
the
done.
dumbest shit of all time because your immune system just can't cope with it, right?
It's not used to the bacteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why even drinking tap water will just destroy your life.
Oh, you'll get murked.
Yeah. But then if you've grown up there and you eat street food on the regular, then your immune system is like,
You're Thanos.
whatever.
You're
Yeah.
Thanos.
It freaks out when it drinks bottled water because it's like, what is this?
Yeah. Whoa. What is this clean?
Who am I
shit?
fighting?
Yeah.
You know?
What are you doing? I
Yeah.
thought you were Thanos, dude.
Exactly.
Thanos of Indian street food.
Yeah.
Have you had Indian street food?
I avoided it mostly.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Even though you grew up there.
I had it from certain parts, but places where you can clearly see that it's like being handled correctly. Mainly because I was a little careful with trying to not get sick and things. Like as a kid, I was sick a fair bit. When I was 9, I nearly died from malaria and hepatitis jaundice.
Holy
So
fuck.
avoid that if you can.
How did that happen?
I just messed with the wrong mosquito at the wrong time, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
mosquito bite?
That's what gets you the delicious malaria.
No way.
Yeah.
What, like, I mean, you can't just like avoid that really. Like,
Yeah,
it
no,
just
no.
happens.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because what are you gonna do? A mosquito, like, you can't see it from far away.
That's right. And you grow up with like mosquito tents every day anyway.
Mosquito tents?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you mean?
Mosquito nets. So every night before we went to bed in India, we would put a big mosquito net around our mattress. So there would be say this is the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a nail that we'd put into each corner of the wall, and then from that we would hang string that would hold up the 4 corners of a mosquito net.
Oh wow.
That we would then tuck into the bottom of the mattress. So the most annoying thing, and I'm sure this is very relatable, is when you've tucked in your mosquito net, but then you got to go take a leak.
Oh.
You're like, I got to untuck my mosquito net. Oh.
How would you get out?
You just like so the
It's
same
like a
way-
hammock, right? It's pretty much like a hammock.
No. So it's like a bed.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then under the mattress,
Right.
you tuck it in.
Right.
So then you got to pull it out. Like you know how in a hotel they do that really tight
Oh,
tuck.
tight tuck.
Yeah, it's like who is this for? Nobody's enjoying this insane. You try to get under it, and it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
trying to kill you.
Yeah. No one's strong enough for,
Yeah,
for those sheets.
So you do that, but less intensely with
Right.
the mosquito net,
So
that you don't get mauled by mosquitoes at night. But
That's
I think
insane.
it was during the day
Oh.
that it caught me slipping. You know, the malaria mosquito came through, but I outlived the mosquito. So
we're here now.
we're here, folks. We did it.
We did it. Well, that's good.
Yeah, the malaria was bad enough, but then hepatitis jaundice. Oh,
What is hepatitis jaundice?
so that because of the malaria, like a complication from it, is your skin goes really yellow, to the point
right.
where you start the sheets the white sheets I was sleeping on would be turning yellow
What?
because of like the yeah. So my dad was like freaking out because he's like, "Is my only son gonna die? I should have had more kids, all that kind of stuff, you know."
Shit.
Yeah, and then after a few weeks and trying every medication available, eventually you stop throwing up and you survive. Well, if you survive. If you don't, sorry if you lost someone to malaria recently.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover from that?
Like between a couple of weeks and a month.
Like, what was the process of
I think I was just in bed like convulsing and just like trying not to die.
like what medication were you taking?
They tried everything from all the typical medications to like the random Ayurvedic ones with like eye of newt and the witch's finger and all that
the
stuff.
Indian traditional.
Yeah, like just
medicine.
everything, and then something worked. I
Right,
think.
eventually.
Or the malaria just decided not to kill me.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you know what, man? Like, this guy's actually not a bad dude. Like,
yeah,
let's
like
let
you
him
know
live.
when like a samurai like defeats you and then puts the blade to your neck, but then doesn't
Right.
kill you.
True.
He just shows you he can.
Yeah,
Maybe
that was the
that's what-
vibe.
Maybe that's what it did.
Yeah, they're like, Suraj, don't ever fuck with us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let me catch you.
Don't let me catch you slap.
Yeah,
or else I'm
yeah.
gonna catch you outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally in your tent.
Um,
That's wild.
You
man.
ever slept in a mosquito net?
I confidently can say I haven't.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
would try it.
You gotta give it a whirl.
When
man.
I go to India, now I know I have to sleep in a mosquito tent.
Well, just the best thing to do is just take the malaria pills that they'll give you.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Now,
So
now it's
you
a
can
thing.
take preventative. So if you're traveling to
India.
India, you can go onto a course of medication that will make sure that you don't get malaria when you get there.
That's actually smart.
Do that.
Well, I think obviously they do shots like that for Africa as well. I think
Yes.
they must with
Yeah,
like different ones, hepatitis B or C or something like that. Yeah, stuff like that,
You
which
wanna,
makes sense.
Yeah, avoid sharing needles. That's a big
I
thing.
mean,
It's tempting.
Very tempting.
You want to share your vaccines with your friends.
Yeah,
But
sharing is caring.
That's right. But you try your best.
Yeah.
Try your best.
So I guess how many have you gone back to India often, or just like once in a while? Like
The most recent time I went was when I took my partner, now wife.
Yeah, your
there
now wife, yeah.
In 2019.
before
was-
the pandemic.
Yes, right before.
Oh wow,
That was her first time visiting India.
what was that experience like? She was probably huge culture shock.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we also went to like the remote towns where like, parts of my family grew up and things, like she was in not just the major cities, but she was in places where she's the only white person likely in the whole town. So, she'd get mobbed by like school children.
Oh right, because they're like, I've always seen videos of like white girls going into Indian like cities or whatever, and they're literally to photo shoot because they're a superstar model.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get my career off and just nothing.
No one's taking pictures of me.
They're shoving past me. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"What's that?" You're telling them to get the fuck out of here with your jokes.
Yeah,
I'm here to see the lady whose skin is the same color as the moon.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
Please move out of my way.
That's it.
And so, how many people came up to her to take pictures? Was it a lot?
Yeah, I started filming it because it was
That's
like
so
like
funny.
a full cohort of school kids were like
That's
meet
wild.
and greeting her, and she got like free hair treatment at like a salon and stuff.
Oh,
And she like exchanged like a photo for it that the lady put up on the wall.
she's literally on the wall of fame for being white.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I try to pay for a haircut with a photo, and now I'm
get
banned
banned.
from my barber. It's
You're not all of a sudden I'm on the no-fly list.
That's
like,
right.
what the fuck, man?
Exactly. Well, now she gets searched more than I do.
In India,
No, like just flying anywhere.
really? Why?
Because they're like, he's not gonna have it on himself, but he'll hide it with the
Ah,
white lady.
true.
He'll
That-
be
they're
sneaky, so they like double guess.
They're catching on to the antics.
I'm already at the gate. Meanwhile, she's getting searched by association.
yeah. She's the culprit.
That's right. That's right.
Was that actually has that ever been a problem, like going through security with her?
No. Like
can never get
once
interrogated or anything?
they'll not like be too intense with searching her. Ultimately, they're like, all right, you are white after all. So
We can
we're
trust
just gonna
her.
go through the motions here, but let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
And
We know you're fine.
because when we go to America, I can't wait for
Oh,
her
you're
to get the they take her American passport and they're like, welcome home, ma'am.
Yeah,
and then
finally.
they're like, who the hell is this guy?
yeah.
And that'll be brutal.
Oh man, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it all the time.
Yeah,
We get it all the time.
Yeah.
We're looking like this with a beard,
Yeah.
No problem.
It's gonna be a blast,
Yeah.
especially with Trump in office. I'm sure
I mean,
it's looking likely.
have you've been to America?
Is the debate today?
Yeah, he was literally watching it today. The debate.
Is it happened?
It's just finished. Yeah.
Did Trump just did he
Bloodbath.
destroy? Did he murder?
He's crushing.
He
was
killed.
he
Dude.
getting
Crushing.
laughed?
Because Biden killed himself.
Well, yeah.
Oh, he's that
Yeah.
bad. Obviously, yeah.
That wasn't amazing. Like, I actually did an okay job. Sometimes
Right.
I was listening, I was like, that actually seems sane.
Didn't they do it that they can't have both mics on at the same time? That's
Oh.
crazy, right? That's
Oh.
like some kindergarten stuff.
Well, because they can't control each other.
Yeah,
They can't.
yeah. It's like, here are the guys that are going to lead the country. We can't let them both have an active microphone. That would be insane.
No, yeah.
We got to make sure we deactivate this one now. Timmy, give the talking stick to the other
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
And now it's your turn to share with the class.
Literally.
The US doesn't elect RFK Jr. at this point.
Very retarded.
They deserve what's coming.
But doesn't he also have like a literal worm eating his brain or something?
No, I don't think so.
Very rare genetic disorder that fucked up his voice box.
Right.
That's it. It just sounds weird.
Mm.
He's coherent and he has sane ideas, and you're like, yeah, okay, that sounds normal.
I think he's.
Contrast to Donald and Joe Biden. Just in
Sleepy
general.
Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, crooked Joe Biden.
Crooked.
It's just fascinating that like
Crooked Joe Biden.
Crooked Joe Biden.
That's hilarious.
it.
Crooked Hillary.
Crooked.
It's just fascinating. It's two 80-year-old dudes that are fully in control of like
It's so wild, man. And
it's like the guy that's gonna get off at the next stop of the train is driving the train. It's like that doesn't line up, Anyway.
if you're sitting in like the yellow chairs in the tram, the ones that are different color from the rest of the seats,
Yeah.
which is what they're doing,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be running for president.
Yeah.
You can't be sitting in the handicap seat.
Because there's no maximum age.
There should be
But there's a minimum age. You got to be at least 35, 40.
you have to
something
be
like that.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
People are arguing there should be an upper limit too.
No, there should be a
Yeah.
max.
Yeah.
Same way there's a minimum. Well, there should be.
100%. Dude,
Yeah.
80, bro?
Dude, by the time Joe Biden's done, he would be like 85 or 86. Like, bro.
Brother. Like,
just go spend your days with your grandchildren.
I know. Like,
Elderly.
literally, elderly. Yeah. It's
Well,
wild, man.
can't wait to be part of that fun time over there.
Have you been to America, though?
Only as like a teenager.
Oh, so one time.
Yeah, so I went with my folks. We went to New York in like 2015 or something. So 10
Oh,
years.
so that was,
yeah.
no, 10 years, yeah. But that was before you started
Or
doing
no,
comedy?
actually not 2015. It was like 2010.
Yeah, so that was way before you started comedy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So, and you're actually trying to move to New York now for a comedy.
Yes.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I've heard. You know what? This place is quiet and
Mhm.
doesn't have too many comedians. Let me just
Yeah.
move
Definitely.
here.
What was the decision to move to New York?
Well, it felt like so. I started in Brisbane, and after a couple of years, opportunities came up that meant that moving to Sydney would be a good decision, and that has meant good things. You know, including just all the lucky breaks that you can catch by putting yourself in bigger markets. And now, like 4 or 5 years on from that. It feels like a good time to make that move while I still don't have any kids, don't have any home loan, all that kind of stuff, so I can afford to take that kind of risk, you know? And I've done a couple of festivals, so I have, a couple of hours of gear that I'm fairly happy with. And so I figure, let's throw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah.
You
If not now, then when?
Yeah.
And you're only what, 30?
I'm 30. I just turned 31.
When's your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Happy belated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
Young blood.
Yeah.
How old are you? 35. There you go. So, the 30s, Remember, we used to be promising young men. And now
we're treading water.
Oh, my God. Yeah. You can at least run for president.
That's true, actually.
Are they ready for the first Persian
Canadian.
president?
There you go.
That'd be crazy. Persian president.
Yeah.
First order.
Nuts.
Free pistachios.
Yeah. Free
Yeah.
pistachios for everybody.
Every citizen.
Iran for Iran. That'll be his campaign.
That's it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Cologne,
Mm.
Yeah.
Dior cologne.
Yeah.
Half price from now on.
That's it.
Everybody's like,
Yeah. Every gym must come with some cologne and deodorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only colors BMW, Mercedes are white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every car must be white. Yeah.
Black
No more black car. No colored shit. Get out of here.
clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only black clothes. Yeah, exactly. Everyone is mandatory. You have to get your eyebrows done every month, once a month.
Every
Perfect.
Saturday, the whole country has a manly.
Yeah, it's a
Family gathering with music and food and dancing.
yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, every Saturday.
Let's
party.
make it happen.
President,
Yeah,
White House.
in the White House. Yeah, grilling kebab outside of the White House. That'd be crazy, dude. Do you know how much hospitality there will be in the country? The amount of kindness that will actually ensue. Gary Vee, yeah, Gary Vee should be president. Yeah, well, he's not married, but they're engaged now. Yeah, to a Persian girl.
Right.
You know Gary Vee?
Yeah.
You know Gary Vee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gary, bro. Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah. It's so funny. Like we always say, my brother and I, we're always somehow connected to Persian people.
Yeah.
And
But
like-
you've never been.
Well, no, we've never been to well, he was born there, but
Right.
he did, but he can't go back.
Yeah?
Nobody I know can go back.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Most people can't go back. Well, especially because he's a guy and he's in his 30s and he's never done mandatory military time.
Oh, how long is the mandatory
It's
military?
2 years.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's 1 hour.
No, it's not. You're done.
Corrupt and
No.
lawlessness that
Yeah?
keep you, or they'll send you out, they'll kill you themselves because you're leaving the country when you shouldn't.
Damn.
They'll take your passport. They'll fucking question you. They'll fuck with you. And then even me, because I'm born in Canada,
Right.
but because I'm associated with my parents and the last name, but I have a Canadian passport, and also because they had to fled their country,
Right.
they would be like, "Yo, you're associated with these people who left. Like, they'll probably take my passport. They'll think I'm a spy.
Damn.
They'll fucking put me in jail and probably torture me. I don't know."
That's hectic.
That's
That'll
what-
give
that's-
you some good stories, though.
But the material would be crushing. on
Yeah.
stage.
You know?
The TED Talks I could do.
Yeah. That would be a special, my
be
time in a Persian jail.
I mean, hey, yeah, I'll be actually no. There was a Persian comedian in Iran who actually they took her in because she was a comedian. Like we were talking about earlier, you can't be funny, right?
Yeah.
You can't. Especially as a woman, no
Right.
chance.
Right.
And you want to take her job off? Get the fuck out. Like they
Right.
will hate that.
Damn.
It's
Who's
crazy.
the biggest Persian comedian in the world right now? You're like me. God damn.
Nah. I'd say Max Amini. You know Max Amini?
Oh yeah.
Probably seen his clubs maybe here and there, but yeah, he's huge. Now he's huge. Like, but
He visits Australia.
yeah,
doesn't
he comes a lot because there's
Yeah.
like he pretty much gets all the Persians here.
Right.
Like, well, his sole audience is all Persians.
right.
That's just like does Persian material,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like, you know, he has 3 million followers
Right.
and he crushes. So it's like,
What
by all means.
percentage of your audience is Persian when they turn up?
you're saying like at
Like
the
when you do
live
a show
shows
here,
or
live shows.
yeah, it's probably I'd say most of it,
Yeah.
but not all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
never
yeah.
all,
Yeah.
which is good because I like to have a diverse audience too. And,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's a lot of Canadians. There's Canadians everywhere. A lot
Yeah.
of Canadians, but like, you know, they're white or Indian. A lot
Yeah.
of Indian, Filipinos, yeah, Persians, Arabs. You know, yeah, some Latinos.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good mix. You know,
Nice.
but yeah, I mean, it just depends where you go. Brisbane, the last show we did in Brisbane, it was pretty much all Canadians.
Yeah.
They're just like here.
Right. Right.
Different.
You're in the Canadian algorithm,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Have you noticed your algorithm changing to like Australian algorithm
Oh yeah.
geographically being here?
Oh, for sure, man. Like our content in the past 6 months
Yeah.
has been mostly showing Australian people.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
because my lowest following is Australia,
Yeah.
that like we were like, oh, it's just a theory, but that's why I feel like my content hasn't been hitting as much as it used to.
Right.
Because I feel like it's just not reaching my main audience.
Exactly, because for a lot of these things like TikTok and stuff, it doesn't matter who's following you. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily show your videos to your followers,
No.
which is crazy, right?
I
Like
don't know
someone will
why.
have like 300,000 TikTok followers, but they can put out a video and it might get 5,000 views,
Oh yeah, bro, all the
which
time.
is bananas.
All the time. Like recently, like I've had videos on Instagram get like 1,000 likes,
Yeah.
and I have 400,000 followers.
Yeah. Is YouTube the best in terms of showing your videos to your subscribers?
I think so. It's actually it's definitely the most specific in terms of showing you which demographic
Right.
is watching you.
Right.
YouTube has the best analytics for that.
Right. But
But-
in terms of like feeding your stuff to your, because
Oh.
what TikTok does is like, what I was reading was it shows a video to like 300 random people
Yeah.
in the first few seconds.
Yeah.
And based on that engagement, it expands to bigger and bigger circles of 1,000, 10,000,
Yeah.
20,000, and like that. So it doesn't matter if 1 million people have subscribed to you, they're not going to get this video in their feed unless it's already kind of doing numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
It has to pick up for it to actually reach everyone.
That's bananas. Because if you have subscribed to something, you're saying, I want to see more of this.
Yeah.
But
They're
the
like, nah.
algorithm's saying, no, you don't.
No, you don't. No. Sit down.
The biggest L I took was when all the social media apps, all my comedian buddies were getting on them. I was pretty old head about it. I was like, I'm going to just stick to the stand-up.
Yeah.
And so I've got like 37 followers now. And anytime anyone makes a fake account, that'll have more followers than me.
Wow.
You know? That's
The audacity.
That's brutal.
It's brutal.
When
Can't
a
lie.
fake is like, I think that guy can actually, he's doing better
Yeah.
with my career right now.
Yeah, you have to almost be on his side.
I have to be like, can I get your password
yeah.
actually?
Can
so I
we-
can
can we
I-
collab? Like,
yeah,
can we-
100%. Dude.
So yeah, because I saw you post a lot. You've been posting a lot of stand-up clips now, and like, you know, you do some skits here and there too, right? Like, so.
Well, yes, from like the next couple of weeks onwards, I'm going to start trying to put stuff out every other day
Nice.
in the build up to moving to America. Just as an exercise of like discipline of putting stuff out, and B, like, even if it doesn't hit, like it at least has a chance of
Yeah.
growing my numbers, as opposed to like now, like a mildly popular grade school kid will have more followers than me, you know? So
Yeah.
I gotta fix that.
Babies, even dogs.
Oh, that's
dude.
right. Oh, absolutely.
Fucking mole rats.
Yeah,
accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to, hit up and start making some. So I've started teeing that up, Luckily, with how good phones are, I just bought a
Great.
ring light thing,
Nice.
stuck it against an empty wall in the house,
There you go.
and no excuses now
No.
because I left my the part-time work I was doing in Sydney.
Oh, okay.
So now
Now
I'm
it's-
technically I just have all the time in the world,
There you go.
so I should be doing it.
You should be.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
what would
yeah.
you say is the biggest challenge for you going into it?
Just I think having the consistency. Like I feel like with stand up you labor on something for years before you feel it's ready for an audience to see as a show. And so you can't approach, I think, videos with that same criticality.
Criticality. That's
I
a
don't
good
think
word.
that's a word.
Criticalness?
Yeah, maybe. But
I gotta search this. Criticality.
um,
I've never heard criticality before. Let's see.
I just said it confidently enough.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
you-
it
you're on
actually does
board.
work. It
Yeah,
still
yeah.
works. So yeah,
But
it is. Oh, critically.
yeah,
Wait, no.
no. Anyway,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think because for me, like a lot of my favorite comedians, like from the '90s and stuff, like Greg Giraldo and stuff.
Greg Giraldo.
Yeah,
Who's that?
he's brilliant. You got to check him out.
He's a comic.
yeah,
From where?
from
when?
the '90s New York. Yeah.
Oh, really? Greg Giraldo.
He's put out 2 brilliant albums of stand up, and so like his body of work over his career will be like 2-3 albums, and that is surpassed in one afternoon by like a Twitch streamer in terms of
Easily.
hours of content.
I know.
So it's a very different. You can't be like, I can't put this out unless I've worked on it for a year,
No.
right? So I think that'll be, just regularly. It's like keeping a balloon in the air, right? You
Yeah,
gotta keep
I
putting
know.
it out there.
Right.
Do you ever feel, annoyed by having to post consistently?
I mean, not really. I know that it's the pillar of pushing you towards that success in my career.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, whatever I need to do to make my career successful, then I will do that.
Right.
And it could suck along the way. It could be
Yeah.
boring. It could be like draining,
Yeah.
deflating. The list goes on, which it has been discouraging sometimes. But ultimately, the outlook you have to have is that, like, first of all, you just won't know until something's gonna work until you put in the hours, like
Yeah.
a bunch of hours, a bunch of days, a bunch of sets, a bunch of filming days. And eventually, my philosophy at least is, the more you put something out consistently, eventually it's gotta hit.
Right.
Something will work. You'll find the right audience. You'll
Yeah.
find the right thing that will pop off, and then like you'll thank your previous self for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the consistency doesn't have to mean every single day.
Right.
It could be every other day, but at least it's the same time, same format, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or once a week, let's say.
Yeah.
Worst case.
Yeah.
But at least stick to something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stick to one thing for 3 months, 4
Yeah,
months,
yeah.
and then decide if you need to adapt from there. But
Yeah.
don't give up after just 10 posts, 10 episodes, or there needs to be hundreds of
Yeah. Exactly.
pieces of material or content
Yeah.
to really understand what the pattern is.
Yeah. Do you
And then-
enjoy stand up more or making videos?
Stand up, man.
Yeah?
It's always stand up for me. Yeah.
So the videos are an avenue to generate more leads for the stand up.
That's all it is. But the thing is, I love doing skits as well.
Right.
They're so fun, and
Right.
I love the process of envisioning it, writing it, filming it, getting the angles, getting the cuts, and then editing it after,
Right.
and then seeing the final product. I love that whole process too.
Right.
But in terms of like immediate satisfaction or
Right.
like feel good
Yeah.
feelings, stand up you can't beat stand up
Yeah.
because you know how it is getting crushing like live laughs in your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
Absolutely.
nice. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's crack.
Yeah.
It's actually an undescribable feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there's no other feeling like it. At least from my experience in my life, I still have yet to feel something as good as crushing on stage.
I've
I don't know
heard
about you.
heroin is as good.
Heroin?
Yeah.
All right, well, guess we got to
You
try
know?
that now.
So, how good must it be to do both?
Heroin and get
Like crush on stage first, and then on that high,
Do some
kind of
heroin?
ride that in the pocket,
Wild.
find a vein.
Crazy.
That would be the real
Like
pinnacle.
you'll yeah.
That would be something.
Then yeah. Speechless, to be honest. Now it's on my mind now. Now I have to do it. But not
yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I guess what type of, like, because I know you love doing stand up, but is you also are an actor?
I am. I
saw-
try to act.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but you're on God's Favorite Idiot on
Yes.
Netflix.
Yes.
What was that about?
So that was Melissa McCarthy's comedy vehicle that she shot in Byron Bay in Australia.
Where's Byron Bay?
It's not far from here, you know.
But is it
like
I heard
an-
it's outside of
couple of
Sydney,
hours?
isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And that's Byron Bay is like one of those like fucking sites to see, right? Everyone,
Yes, yeah, it's
really
nice.
nice?
It's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that was my first like major Hollywood
wow.
production thing. That was fun. And
That's
then I did Shantaram in Bangkok for 4 months.
I saw that Shantaram on Apple TV.
That's right. Both shows canceled in the first season.
Oh, really?
I'm box office poison, folks. If you have a show out there that you want to kill, I'm happy to do it.
Put me in it.
That's right.
Wait, so they're both shows.
Yeah, they're TV series.
Oh, I never saw God's Favorite Idiot pop up on Netflix ever though. And I have Netflix.
Yeah, I think it
Quickly
got
just
buried quick.
swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Wait, is it only in Australia or it's like all over?
No, it's everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
When did it get released?
Like a year and a half, maybe.
Oh, so
Couple
you
years?
filmed it probably like 3 years ago?
Yeah,
probably?
like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had a regular role in it, or?
Yeah, I was in 2 episodes. They were meant to do 2 seasons, and I was meant to be in an episode in the second season, but it was going so well that they decided, you know what, we're gonna just do 1 season for now.
Yeah, leave on a high.
And then I actually turned down the 3rd episode because the filming was clashing with the Shantaram.
Oh.
So I had to go. I got that project, so I had to go there. But then because they canceled it, if I had not turned it down, I would have gotten paid out for it. So by saying I won't be available, I screwed myself out of money that I would have just gotten.
You fucked yourself.
You know? What can you do?
Sometimes you got to take the L.
That's it.
So when you did 4 months in Bangkok for Shantaram?
That was brilliant. That was so much fun.
Is that still on air? Oh no, you said
That's
it
on Apple
canceled
TV.
too. It got canceled as well.
Yes.
After 1 season.
1 season.
And so wait, what was God's Favorite Idiot about?
That was about so Ben Falcone, Melissa McCarthy's husband, also plays the lead.
Oh,
in it.
okay.
And he gets like a message from God, and it's like a comedy, like an office comedy that meets kind of like a supernatural sci-fi comedy vibe. And Shantaram is based on a book that was huge in like the 90s, I believe. And then it was just in production hell for decades. It like got sold to like HBO as a Johnny Depp vehicle. Then the rights reverted back. Then it went to Paramount and Apple TV as a TV series. Then it started filming in India. Then COVID fucked that over. Then it came here. So all that had to happen for me to kind of land in that project as well. So that was kind of fortuitous.
Okay. Fortuitous. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that
big
is a word. I know that one's a word.
That's a big word.
Criticality, you look that up. You do your own research
Right.
over there. But,
But-
fortuitous, we
But
can take that to the bank.
but how would you say it to your auntie?
Well,
Fortuitous.
yeah. You wouldn't even say it, right?
You wouldn't say it.
You'd say fortunate.
Fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was Shantaram about? Is it Indian? Sounds
Yeah,
Indian.
so it's about a real guy that escaped Australian prison, fled to India, and then lived in a village and sought safe passage and all that kind of stuff. So I'm one of the guys that lives in a slum that helps him out and fights people and you know I got to do all my stunts as well. And
You
I
stunts.
was in like 3 fight scenes.
Oh,
That was crazy. That was so much fun as well.
that's cool.
Because I'm hanging out with like you know the lead of it is Charlie Hunnam, the guy from Sons of Anarchy. The
I mean,
main
I've never
guy.
seen the show, but
But
I
you
know
know
it's
the
big.
guy, right?
I don't know, but I know Sons of Anarchy was huge.
Yeah. So the lead in that is this
Oh.
incredibly handsome dude,
Hmm.
and I have to. All my scenes are with him,
Ah.
which is a nightmare.
So he makes you look
because he's
terrible.
even more handsome in person. You're like, this is what are you doing? You're killing me.
Yeah, I'm already struggling over
yeah,
here.
yeah. But
Wow.
sweetest guy.
Nice.
Which is even more annoying because he's like down to earth and nice. It's like you didn't even let it get to your head. At
No.
least get a bit Kim Jong about it.
Yeah,
you know?
you're actually an asshole for doing that.
Exactly.
You're actually an asshole.
Show respect to your fame by being a dick about
Please,
it.
for
And
the love
then,
of
you
God.
know, we
Yeah.
can kind of have some kind of. But nah, he's super chill. Yeah, it was a blast.
And you always wanted to act as well, or it just happened because you started doing comedy?
Well, I started comedy, and then I was listening to some podcast where they were like, it's good for comedians to get into acting because there's like shared skills and, you know, crossover.
Definitely.
So I was like, oh, that might be handy. And also, it can only be good for increasing profile for stand-up. So then, you know, started by sending just my stand-up reel to an acting agent. And then got a few commercials here and there. Then got these 2 gigs, which are fun to have on the acting resume. Because when I go over now, hopefully that will help, you know, parlay into more acting work.
Definitely.
And, you know, between that and, you know, working on, you know, my own like scripts and stuff that I can hopefully eventually get made, that would be fun. What about you? Do you have like filmmaking aspirations?
Yeah. I'm working on a movie right now too with my friend Rob. He's in LA.
Nice.
And I filmed a movie last year. I was a lead in.
Nice.
It was an independent film.
Yeah.
But he was the director of the movie.
Nice. What was that
And-
movie you filmed? What was it about?
It's the name is still, I think, a working title, but I don't know if I'm allowed to still talk about
All
it.
right. When's it coming?
It should be coming out in a few months.
Nice. I'm keen to
Apparently
check
it's
it out.
done, but
Yeah?
they haven't sent us anything yet. But
How'd you like working on that?
it was cool. It was my first time ever acting in a real role.
Yeah.
And because before that, I was in The Boys.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Yeah. A new episode just came out, I think.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
go
yeah.
Check it
I
out. Yeah.
haven't even watched past season 2, to be honest, but
Yeah.
I was in the season 2 premiere.
Right.
Have you seen the show?
Yeah.
So you've seen all the seasons?
Yeah.
Did you see me
It's
in it?
Great.
Do you remember where I was in? Could you?
Yeah, I think I maybe saw a clip of you
Yeah.
in it where you're one of the guys that
The
gets
Syrian
blown
terrorist.
up or something.
Yeah.
I
I get shanked in the back by Black Noir.
Was that how long on set was that?
I was there all day.
Nice.
It was not all day. It was, I think it was like
10-hour call.
It was like 10, 12 hours.
It's wild how like say even a commercial that will run for like 30 seconds will have like a
3 days.
12-hour
Yeah,
day
I know.
shoot. It's bananas, man.
I know,
Because you do your thing and then they got to move the cameras around.
bro.
There's
takes
like
forever.
2 hours of downtime.
Yeah,
Come back.
lunch.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. Oh, sorry guys. There's a bird outside.
Yeah,
We need to reset the entire set.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
bro, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta wait 30 minutes to change the set. Okay, here's this one line now.
It
Oh.
feels like everyone else is working harder than you.
Yeah.
Because all the grips
I
setting
know,
up all
so
the
true.
cameras in it, and
So
you're just
true.
there like, oh, nice, man. How's life?
Dude, it's so true. And I feel bad because if I talk, I feel like I'm like, I'm triggered. I'm traumatized by my immigrant parents
Yeah,
telling me
yeah.
to stop relaxing and go do something.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how I feel when I'm on set. I see
Meanwhile, the best thing you can do is stay out of their way.
yeah, 100%. But then if I even like get an ounce of like downtime while
Yeah.
they're moving something,
Yeah.
I feel guilty.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
fuck, I should be like rehearsing my lines or like
Yeah.
or like fucking performing my thing, but I can't because I have to wait for them.
Exactly.
You know,
And you get babied on set so much.
so much.
Like
It's
you're
crazy.
called talent as well. Like
I
even
know.
your
I'm
title.
like, oh, I feel weird about
And
this.
then, you know, everyone will kind of trip over themselves to look after you, help you out.
Bro,
Da, da, da.
the PAs.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Can I get you another water?" Meanwhile, like the camera operator's like dying of thirst.
Yeah, you're
And they're like,
sweating
"Fuck
buckets.
this guy. He doesn't need his water.
Nah, yeah,
Drink
fuck that.
his."
Yeah. Say, hey, actually, that water we gave you, we need that back.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
talent
Yeah.
who has one line
Yeah.
is thirsty.
Yeah. Literally, it's like that. It's crazy.
No, literally, bro. Even like them coming to your door, you're in your trailer because I had a
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah.
Not in the. I actually didn't have a trailer in the movie I filmed. I had one when I was on The Boys.
Yeah.
It was a little higher production,
Yeah.
and yeah, they were so nice to me.
Yeah.
Like they're superior, and I
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
wrong
Yeah.
because I don't like treating people like that in life.
Yeah.
And I wasn't raised like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like it's actually crazy being on set.
Yeah.
And, you know, the dynamic between the different types of
It's
roles.
nuts. And the way like extras are treated compared to how you're
my
treated
peasants.
is night and day. They're human
Peasant.
furniture compared to how
Legit.
you're treated.
100%.
And before I did like these acting roles, I worked as an extra in a couple of things.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And I remember sitting among all the extras and you're kind of like herded together like pigs.
Sheep. Yeah.
And they like feed you the slop.
The lot.
And we were sitting in, having crafty that they've put out.
Shit
and,
food.
And it's in a tent and it's hot and it's outside. And I'm like, this is terrible. Meanwhile, those guys are chilling
Pampered.
in their air-conditioned trailers. And you're like, you know what? When I get a trailer, I'm going to sit with the folks. I'm going to be real. And
You're
then
gonna be for the people.
You get a trailer, and then you go and you go. And I grabbed a meal, and I sat with everyone. And then one fly goes past you, and you're like, "If you need me, I'll be in my trailer." If you
Yeah.
just-
Sorry,
just-
guys. This
just-
is my last.
just get
This
a-
is my last straw. This is my 13th reason. That's so true. One of my first, I started off as an extra as well.
Yeah.
One of my first experiences was it was a massive production for a big TV show. I don't remember what it was called. It was kind of like 24. You know the show 24?
yeah,
It was
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I think Kiefer Sutherland was actually in the show too.
Right.
But anyway, I had to play like a Saudi fucking wearing the whole I forget the name of the thing outfit, but it was like the whole like traditional clothing
Yeah.
with 500 other people
Yeah.
in the same outfit.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to play this massive outdoor praying scene
Yeah.
in middle of July back home, which is peak summer.
Yeah.
35 degrees, sun in your face. You're wearing all this clothing,
Yeah.
sweating balls, no water. We're in a factory, like literally like factory feedlot meat.
Yeah.
We're like human version.
Yeah.
And the actors, they don't even talk to you. They don't look at you.
Yeah.
Like the director's like, like brush past you like you're a peasant, like a fly in the wall.
Yeah.
And dude, like people were fainting.
Yeah.
Like the extras were fainting,
Yeah.
and no one would give a shit. They'd be like, "Hey, can you just do that over there, please? We have to film this scene, guys."
Yeah.
But then if anything remotely happens to the actor,
Yeah.
he drips a little bit of sweat.
Yeah.
Towel person.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh, no. It's like it's insane.
It's nuts.
Every set is like that.
Yeah, you see like the stratification of society in one like
Yeah,
landscape.
I know.
Yeah.
And if you even dare
Yeah.
go into the actor's space where they
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
food,
Oh yeah.
you're getting yelled at. Chaos is ensuing.
Yeah.
People are coming after you.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
come after you. The fights will begin,
It's crazy.
right? But
crazy.
all in all, I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good experience.
Yeah.
And you also gain a lot of perspective being an extra and then becoming an actor.
Yeah.
And you get humbled and you appreciate it a lot more. you
Yeah,
know?
I think you appreciate it for a little while, and then you let it. You got to be careful not to let it get to you, because you getting pampered and getting treated like that. It's very. For 3 days, you're like, oh shucks, don't do that. And by day
Yeah.
4, you're like, where the fuck is?
Who's massaging my feet today? Where are you? Right? And especially because I played the lead role.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
one of the I was co-lead.
Yeah,
Bro, it was even better than when I was on The Boys in terms
Yeah.
of treatment.
yeah.
People would always be on my ass, like in a good way of like
Yeah.
making sure everything's every 2 seconds. You okay? You good?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah. That call sheet hierarchy.
Oh, literally hierarchy. Yeah, I was I was 2.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was my friend Sammy, and then me, and then I was always number 2.
Yeah.
Like they would go to him first,
Yeah.
and then they would come to me
Yeah.
when he was good. But sometimes like you're like, this is kind of nice, Sure, I would love a fresh sandwich.
Yeah, it's very easy to get carried away. And
So
then you
easy.
look at these people that grow up as like child actors and they've like been pampered their whole life. Of course they go crazy.
Of course, they go into
Right?
drugs.
There's no way you can be relatable
No,
if you have people falling over themselves to take care of you
Yeah.
your whole natural life.
exactly. How could you the audacity to not be cocky,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I want you to be. I
Yeah.
get it, but did you ever? So what do you like, acting better or stand up?
Stand up,
Yeah.
like you were saying,
Yeah.
it's the best. But it's fun that you can kind of they go hand in hand in trying to like develop your profile, and like Kevin Hart has kind of done the thing where he's like, I can do whatever I want.
That's
I
great.
can play the biggest venues. I can make my own movies. In terms of situating himself to pursue what he wants to pursue, he's absolutely nailed it, right?
It's amazing, honestly.
Same with like Sandler and these guys.
Oh man, I love that, man. I guess because we'll get into that in a second, but yeah, because Adam Sandler, Kevin Hart, those are the types of comedians I always gravitate towards because
Yeah.
I'm like, deep down inside, I feel like I can't just be a stand-up.
Right.
Like it's great, but like, man, if you can act,
Yeah.
if you have the chops,
Yeah.
why can't you also be an actor? Why can't you also make content?
Yeah.
Why can't you also do podcasts?
Yeah.
It's like those guys are doing all that and more.
Yeah.
It's like I want to aspire to be fucking like them,
Yeah.
right?
Plus, when you, sorry.
No, yeah.
Plus, when you get like 60, 70, 80 years old,
Right.
you can still be acting. Like
can do
Michael
anything.
Douglas will be
Oh, yeah.
acting. And, so.
Stand up too. Stand up too.
I think stand-up's harder when you're like like how many relevant 70-year-olds do we know in the stand-up landscape?
I mean, not right now, but
Yeah.
there are. I've seen local comedians that are
Right.
like pretty funny that are like older.
yeah,
but like
yeah.
you know,
Whereas acting-wise, you'll
true.
see
You
like
see a lot older,
there's so many big 70 plus actors.
which is weird to think because I feel like acting would be harder at that age. No.
I think in terms of stand-up, it's about having your finger on the pulse of what's current and relative and staying relevant, which is harder than acting well, which is like, say like Judi Dench will kill acting in a role. But in terms of like being 80 and being relatable to a 20-year-old, probably more challenging.
Yeah,
Which is why,
that's true.
as a stand-up,
Right.
it's, you even take like Seinfeld or whatever. He's probably the closest now to like an old guy that's touring. Most of his audience will be older, and the younger folks are not going to be, going to his shows or relating to his gear.
Which honestly is fine because it's more than enough people for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit. He's still a billionaire, literally. Did you have any other dreams of doing something in your life before you discovered comedy?
Yeah, like so before I started stand-up, I was working as a civil engineer.
Of course, as an
gotta
immigrant should.
fulfill the stereotypes.
Yeah, of course, you have to.
All the way from my great-grandfather down, everyone's a civil engineer.
Really?
Yeah.
Every single person in your family.
Yeah. So
That's
my
wild.
Great-grandfather, my grandfather, my dad, my aunt, they're
What?
all civil engineers. And not just that, they're like associate professors and professors that taught at universities for like decades. So I was the worst engineer. And then I stopped being an engineer as well, right?
Oh wow.
So leaving engineering after like working for 4 years. But then I was keen to like do something in like a creative field. I as I said earlier, I like tried to write like books or whatever, and I was like, I'm no good at this. And then you try, like instruments or music or this or that or whatever, and you're like, all right. And you just try a bunch of stuff until you stumble across something that you get a little bit of positive feedback on. But then one day I started stand-up. it was very quickly like, oh yeah, this is the best. So then you get hooked pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So you have a degree in civil engineering.
that's right.
So if you wanted to, you could just go get a job right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, obviously, you don't want to do that because you want to invest all your time into comedy.
Yeah. Well, what I did was I accrued all the debt that you get from learning civil engineering, and I decided now is the good time to duck out. And all my buddies from civil engineering that I studied with, they're all buying their like third house now. And
That's wild.
Yeah. So I'll be at dinner and they'll be like, it's weird because my third house is kind of smaller than my second house. And I'm like, that sucks, dude.
Yep.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I'm not picking up the check. Like
Yeah. Listen, if I'm out right now with you guys, you're paying.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, I still owe the same amount of money that I owed to the university.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my student loan is the same.
Hey, man, I feel you, bro. Being an entrepreneur, being a comedian, an actor, whatever, whatnot, like, there's always going to be those struggles, but I believe the rewards will be fucking exponentially better than any other career path.
It's so much more fun, like I have
It's more fulfilling.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's great. And I also, because I think, at some point, even if it all goes wrong, which I don't think it will, if you have a passion for it and you actually love it, you'll find a way. Eventually.
Yeah. Well, check back in 12 months. If I'm homeless in New York and I'm hitting up 2 open mics and 3 soup kitchens in one evening, then I'll circle back and I'll
hey, man, that's actually normal in New York. So it's actually not a bad thing. All right. This is a normal life in New York. It's like more normal than you think. But that's good. And did you ever think that you would, doing comedy, that you would come this far or like?
No, yeah, that's what's been surprising as well. Like you catch these breaks and you look back and you're like, that's wild that I was able to do those things. And a lot of it can be like luck as well. But it's good because initially when you start, you have kind of like a delusion that you'll hopefully do well. And that kind of keeps you going until they become less delusional things to believe in, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And I guess what are your plans for, like, what are your aspirations now that you see a bit, you've seen more of what you could accomplish in comedy at this point?
Yeah.
Like, what are your aspirations for the future? Like, what's your ultimate, like, Adam Sandler moment or Kevin Hart moment?
Yeah, well, like moving to America and then, how many every years it takes to get established there, get on the road, hopefully eventually, headline the comedy clubs and then eventually try to build the profile up. And if I can then make my own film projects as well and direct them and stuff, that would be great.
That's all. And you would want to direct your own movie too?
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, because when I write a script, I try to think about what the blocking will be like and what the shots will look like and stuff. And if I can get into that, that would be good. And the best way for us to get into that is by making our own stuff. Because the way of becoming like a professional director is so much more immensely difficult than just getting more successful in stand-up until eventually they let you direct your own projects, right?
Exactly.
So hopefully, I'm tempted to, because the special I'm gonna shoot in September, I'm tempted to try to, work with a local director who will make it like interesting. Because so many specials are shot exactly the same way, right?
Yeah.
But it's difficult because you don't want to overproduce it and make it too difficult for it to be digestible as a stand-up special. But at the same time, you want it to not look exactly like every other special that's shot. So,
what do you mean by that?
So if you look at how specials are shot, there's like a good like video essay about it by I think a YouTube channel called Comedy Without Errors, and it talks about how how intentional a special is and how it's shot. Like, you look at Gerard Carmichael, he does a brilliant job of conveying mood and emotion with the way the special is shot. Have you watched 8, Gerard's HBO special before Nathaniel?
No, I haven't. I do remember him dropping that, and people were saying that at the time.
Yeah.
I think I saw a clip or two, but no, I haven't watched it.
It's really good. And also, it opens on a tight shot of his just face, like mid-set, going, are we going to be okay? Like, that's like the first line. There's no like, welcome to the stage, Gerard, da da da, and then like coming on, the classic tracking shot, the crane shot, the audience shot, like all of that, right? Like, that's in every special.
It is.
And then he does an hour where he also designed that hour to be consumed for the viewing audience. So he looked at it as a film project, which it is, and not as just a recapturing of the live event, right? So then he ends the show with, he doesn't even end it. He goes, what else are we going to talk about? And it's tight on his face and it just goes to credits. And so it's kind of like you're in and out of there in this kind of bigger scheme of things. He also directed a bunch of specials of like Drew Michael and stuff. Drew Michael did an interesting thing with his Red, Blue, and Green special where he shot it in an interesting way. Can I spoil how he shot it to you?
Go ahead, yeah. No, I don't even know who you're talking about.
So Drew Michael shot the special where it's called Red, Blue, and Green, and it feels like it's in this like moody comedy club, and the lighting is kind of not a spotlight light, but like down lights and kind of interesting mood lighting. And there's an audience of like say 100 or 50 people in like a comedy club setting. But something feels a little off, like the laughs feel a little different or whatever. And the whole special just happens as it happens. And then the last shot of the special is it zooms out and it cranes around to show that both him and the audience of the comedy club are actually on stage at a theater that's like a thousands of seat theater. And the audience is watching him perform to an audience. So everyone on stage is an actor. And so that's why the laughs feel different, because they're coming from a theater audience that's watching him not look at them the whole show.
What?
So say
the special was shot in a theater, an empty theater?
No, a full theater.
Full theater, but
then
there's
never
also
show that there's a theater audience or that it's in a theater until the last shot where it cranes across and shows that's the case.
So wait, the whole time then the shots are on the audience members that are on stage only?
Yes.
Why would he do that?
Because it was like a comedy club on stage, like a comedy club set built on stage. And so it's like watching a play off a live comedy show rather than just watching the live comedy show.
Oh, I see what you mean. So he's not even looking at the theater audience.
No, he's looking at the other actors
audience.
on stage.
Oh, they're actually actors.
Yeah.
But are they laughing?
Yes. Like, they're enjoying a live show just like
they've never seen the set before.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then they're actually genuinely laughing then, or being an audience.
Yeah.
But they're paid to be on the stage.
Yes.
But then the people in the theater are actual paid audience.
Yes.
Who like came to see this.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. And it was just like, it's like the last shot is like this mind-blowing moment. You're like, holy shit. And just stuff like that is like, creative, interesting ways of shooting a special.
That's very innovative. I like that.
Yeah.
So you want to do more stuff like that?
I mean, maybe, hopefully.
Shoot it just from like the bottom up the whole time. just up your fucking stomach.
The tricky thing is like trying not to get too like wanky with how you try to make it.
Wanky.
Yeah.
That's a great term.
which is like, too artsy fartsy with it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just like, still there still needs to be some traditionalness to it of like
Yeah,
to
you
show
don't
the
want
comedy.
to you don't want to break the mold so much
No.
that it
ruins
distracts
the jokes.
from
Yeah.
the material, but
Exactly.
at the same time you want it to be trying to push the boundaries of how it might be shot.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know, maybe like just a fun way of even keeping it mostly traditional, but kind of having some nods to like the bigger things is by like doing the same thing where it's like a tracking shot of someone, but instead of a tracking shot of me walking and like, that classic like guy
Following
yeah. Just doing that, but then it follows the guy that gets behind camera 3. And then it just looks through the camera and then gets into the special where I'm already on stage, maybe. Something like that. I don't know.
No, yeah, there's plenty of interesting ways you could definitely go around it for sure.
So it's a tricky thing, but I don't know. I'll try to make it interesting, but hopefully not too wanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard wanky before. That's a good way to describe it. Oh, fuck. Jesus, I keep hitting this. So, I was gonna, I guess, because you're gonna be moving to the U.S.
Yeah.
And are you into sports?
Yeah.
So you're following NBA and basketball. And
Yes. Yeah, you got
We're talking
the
about Lakers.
throwback Lakers jersey on from Magic Johnson's days.
But it's
With the
LeBron.
embossed. Yeah.
LeBron James.
That's
LeBron James.
And now his son is
Bronny.
is a Laker.
Wild, right?
Yeah. Gotta love to see nepotism at the highest level of professional sport.
Hey man, it's actually pretty. We were talking about earlier with my brother. It's like that's a historic thing
It's
for
crazy.
sports.
It's crazy. It's never happened in basketball before. I think it's happened in baseball, maybe.
In baseball, really?
Maybe, but with longevity of LeBron
Bro.
he's still like a top 5 player,
It's insane.
and
That's what I'm saying. It's not like he's like fucking Udonis Haslam.
Yeah.
He's not a bench player.
Yeah.
He's still a starter.
Yeah, and his son is now gonna be the Thanasis Antetokounmpo to his Giannis.
Exactly.
You
It's
know?
not a bad thing at all. Like, it's one thing to be brothers and be on the same team,
yeah.
but father and son,
Yeah.
unheard of.
And we're gonna see LeBron playing garbage time.
Literally.
So that'll be fun.
No, he's still gonna play long games.
Yeah, no. But his son will play garbage time.
Oh, the son, yeah, his
and
son.
so LeBron will play with his son.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
LeBron
yeah.
will play 40 minutes.
Yeah, and then
his son
play
will play
garbage.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
and that'll be in the blowout losses.
That's it. And so that means LeBron is still playing the whole game.
Yeah.
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 No, I think Bronny will get more time. He'll get more time.
He might get more time, but he'll shoot like 33%.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a 4 points per game college player. He's one of the at like 35% efficiency. He's one of the bottom 5% of college players. And if he wasn't LeBron James Jr., he's not getting drafted.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
And he was drafted 55th, right?
55th.
Out of it's 60, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's
true.
Yeah. But it is fun that he's even on the fringes of making it into a professional sport. Like,
What do you mean?
so he's very good at basketball. He's not NBA good.
You don't think so?
No, that's what, like
All the experts are saying.
all the scouts,
Yeah.
It's
It's like, not even close.
are in agreement. But the thing is, to even be drafted, to even be on the like consideration of, like, he could go and probably do okay in like the NBL in Australia, right?
Yeah, right. He would crush.
To even be that good is impressive in the shadow of like a GOAT father.
True. Yeah, because you're not. No one's. You can't.
Jordan's son's not that good.
Well, he's also. I think he's like trans too, and he's probably not. He
No,
wouldn't.
that's his other son. I think.
Oh,
I
there's
think you're
two.
thinking of Magic's kid, maybe.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, there's no way you're gonna. You're not gonna live up to the hype of your
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
On both sides, no chance.
Exactly. So to even be as good as he is, while having the pressure of all the social media growing up, is impressive. But like you see with cricketers and stuff as well, like the sons of cricketers are so much worse. Like Tendulkar's son is like he's not in the Indian team, right? But he's trying. He's on the like fringes of making an IPL team,
Right.
But so in that respect, Bronny being like even semi-serviceable is
A
hats
miracle.
off. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too is it's actually crazy to think about how social media is like pretty much surrounding Bronny's life.
Yeah.
But that's also what happened to LeBron when he first started.
Well, for him,
Like
it was
before social
because
media.
he's unbelievable.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like from the beginning of his career
Yeah.
till now, the rest of their career, like his career too,
Yeah.
it's all been like in the limelight.
Yeah.
It's pretty
'Cause
insane.
The pressure that was on LeBron to be
Crazy.
great was immense.
No one else can do that. To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't. No one's ever been able to live up to all that pressure.
Yeah. It's
my
pretty wild.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're right. I just don't see Bronny's career going the same trajectory as LeBron's, in my opinion. It's
Well,
just-
LeBron will
starting off.
probably play longer than Bronny.
yeah, probably. yeah, literally.
But-
not even because he's good. He's just bionic.
Yeah.
He's not a real person.
I think Bronny probably retires or
Normal.
is retired like
At a normal
30
age.
minutes after LeBron's contract expires.
Yeah, literally, they'll retire at the same time.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts. He probably would. Honestly, I could see LeBron playing for another like 5 years. And
That
he'll
will be insane. But even like 2 more years would be,
already a
Kareem
lot.
levels of longevity. But even
How long
beyond.
did Kareem play for?
Kareem was like 41. But when you're a
Oh.
big man, you can, I think, like a reasonably athletic big man,
Yeah.
you can, I think, afford to be a little bit slower
Yeah.
than you can
Yeah.
as a perimeter player.
Yeah. Well, LeBron's
Um,
just every position anyway. So
Yeah. So it's crazy
Mm.
that he's still as good as he is.
So crazy, man.
And it'll be good to see him, play with his son. He's earned it.
yeah,
He's earned that level of greatness.
100%. Yeah, it's honestly, what a time to be alive to witness this
Pretty
in real
crazy.
time.
Pretty
Can't
crazy.
wait. The
Yeah,
ticket
yeah.
price is gonna be out the roof.
yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
The amount of bets that are going on in casinos in Vegas,
Yeah.
people are gonna lose their minds over
Yeah.
this shit. The
And-
odds and shit,
Yeah. Someone was saying, like, is he going to call him dad when he's on the court?
Dad,
Yeah.
pass the ball.
Yeah. He's open in the corner.
Yeah,
yeah.
all the memes we were talking about the memes too. Like someone's like, he's gonna get yelled by his dad in the team huddle.
Yeah.
It's like, is it personal or is it? the team? That's so crazy, man. It's like no, you've never seen that before.
No.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought?
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's like the dynamic of hooping with your dad at the Y,
Yeah,
but in the NBA.
in front of the world to see.
Yeah.
Man, the amount of pressure that's gonna be on Bronny more than LeBron.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting, It'll be fun to watch. I wonder if they'll taper off his minutes as the season goes on once the novelty of it is worn off and they're like, his player efficiency rating is the worst we've ever seen.
Yeah, now he's just 12th man.
Yeah.
Now he's just red shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully by that point, I would love to see that live. But
Yeah.
the only way that's going to happen is if we get rich and famous. Because at this point, ticket prices, no chance.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or if become friends with LeBron or Bronny.
Or go to like a preseason game.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. But if you just get famous off Twitch, like Kai Cenat, he's having sleepovers with Kevin Hart. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that guy is like a
Biggest
Twitch
Twitch streamer
guy?
in the world.
What does he do?
He just Twitch stream live.
Like plays games on Twitch?
Not even like he just streams.
He's like a vlogger.
Not even. He just goes live.
And
He
does
just
what?
talks shit. He just talks about whatever. Like
And
has
he's
guests. Just like they talk, they play music, he dances. I don't know.
and
Like,
he has millions of followers.
bro, millions.
That's crazy.
Crushes, dude.
It's
He
crazy.
had a 7-hour live stream with Kevin Hart and Drewski.
That's 3 Greg Giraldo careers. That's crazy.
Right? Isn't that wild? So
That's bananas.
it's the new age, man. It's the new age. So
Yeah, it's a new world.
I know.
I gotta adapt.
we gotta get on that shit.
Well, you're on that shit.
I mean, yeah,
You've
We're getting
figured it
there.
out.
a little bit on a small scale, but we're working at least. We're trying. That's all that matters.
That's it.
All right, man. Well, thanks for getting on the pod.
Thanks for
And
having me, man.
Of course, of
Pleasure.
course. Please plug whatever you have.
Yeah, when this comes out, click the link of where he's tagged me, and you'll be like, "This can't be real." There's like 5 followers. It's real. That's my account. All right, so follow that, and hopefully I'll have put some videos out by the time this comes. When does this come out?
Probably in a month or so.
In a month. All right.
When he's asking when the episode comes out.
All right.
Okay.
In 3 weeks, I'll try to have put some videos out. So check those out if I've.
And tell him what the
followed
name
through.
is.
My name, Suraj Kolarkar.
Like your handle.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, is
that's
that-
my
okay.
handle? Yeah. Yeah.
Suraj Kolarkar.
Yes, I try to keep it simple.
It's the only Suraj Kolarkar comedian in Brisbane
Yes, in the world.
and the world.
Yeah.
Yet to this, we don't know for sure, but
Yeah. Well, fairly confident because my last name is made up. It's not a
Oh.
real. In South India, you don't have last names.
what do you mean?
So in South India, your name goes your name and then your dad's initial and your grandpa's initial. So my grandpa's name is 2 initials and his name, and he doesn't have a last name. So my dad invented our last name
What?
for passports. Yeah.
So what's an example of a last name or like a name?
Kolarkar is a made up name. So Kolar is the region we're from,
Yeah.
and Kar, K-A-R, that's a common suffix. Like, you know how like Richardson, like the son, is a common suffix? So he took a common suffix of Central India and a place where we came from in South India and invented this last name.
Wait. So what was your original name then? Like before
My
that?
name would have been, I believe, P.N. Suraj.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Or N.P. Suraj.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
There you go.
The more you know.
In South India, no last names. So they're
You're like, fuck it. We just do whatever we want.
yeah.
First name and a couple initials. Bing, bang, boom. That's
it.
awesome, man.
That's it.
All right. Well, it's like our culture too. We don't have middle names.
Right.
It's just like name, last name. But
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder why middle names became a thing ever.
white people.
Yeah. Like, what is the point of it?
I have no idea.
It's like, okay, your name is Steve Smith. It's like, hang on. You're
What-
also Mary. It's like, what?
just in
why?
case you need to pull it out.
Yeah. It's wild.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
well-
I don't know why we do it.
We have no idea. We will find out on the next episode, though.
We'll let you know, folks. Stay tuned. Finding Neema.
That's it. Thank you so much. Peace and love.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.